call them whatever you like. You know, they get a bit twitchy and they say, well, if they don't win the next 2 games, then he's gone. You've got to have a little bit of steadiness within the club. And Hull went through a horrific period early in the season. Too many injuries. You know, Gareth Ellis, you've got to have the leaders out there on the field of play. Now, Widnes, they've done exactly the same thing. They've allowed Dennis Betts. You know, a lot of eyebrows were raised when they went for Kevin Brown. Everyone thought that Kevin Brown was going to be staying at the Huddersfield Giants for many, many years to come. But Dennis Betts knew what he wanted. He wanted someone to take his team and steer them around the park. And boy, he's one of the best.
We talk about must-win games in this Super League competition, it seems to me, in 2015, each and every week. This is a must-win for both of these two sides, isn't it? Must-win really for Widnes.
Yeah.
Because if they lose, Hull go above them and they've got the game in hand.
Desperation. And it's going to be interesting in the opening 10-15 minutes, because sometimes, you know, I reckon Hull, Ratford would have told them, we don't want to go out 100 mile an hour, because that way sometimes you force a pass. You try to be a little bit too excitable. You try to get the ball away. Take it steady, just get yourself into the swing of the game, and then put a lot of questions in the Widnes' mind.
OK, we'll see how it all pans out. It is a vital match for these two clubs. Widnes will take on Hull live here on Sky Sports tonight. And we do say, each and every week, must win for either side. This really is the night when the chips are down for Widnes and Hull in the First Utility Super League.
Ladbrokes, proud sponsor of the Super League on Sky Sports.
We need some backup.
Oh, not so rough.
This army, Clash of Clans, download for free.
I promise you I'll keep you safe. The sound of the branches breaking under. Like they say in the song.
The new Fiat 500 Vintage 57. It's the latest addition to the Fiat 500 range. Visit your local dealer.
What are your specials?
What are you after?
Oh.
We got burgers, cheeseburgers, pies, fries, and in play.
In play?
Yeah, get your mobile out.
What's the catch?
Haddock.
Download the Coral app and check out our in-play specials.
But please bet responsibly.
Why did they pick Lewis Hamilton?
I think they thought he could get ahead.
I've lost this race, haven't I?
I'm really sorry about that, Lewis, mate.
Please stop talking to me.
We just screwed it up for him. Nothing else to do than to apologise and apologise and apologise.
What's going through your mind?
Come back to win the next one.
Next up, the Canadian Grand Prix. Coverage sponsored by FairFX. Live on Sky Sports. Italian champions, Spanish champions.
If you love football, just watch.
The UEFA Champions League final, Saturday from 6, Sky Sports.
Ladbrokes, proud sponsor of the Super League on Sky Sports.
Both Widnes and Hull were big winners at the Magic weekend, and with the Vikings just inside the top 8 and Hull right behind them, this in effect is a Super 8 playoff. Kevin Brown was magical in Newcastle. His hat-trick of tries was the difference between winning and losing against Salford. And coach Dennis Betts is one man who emphasises how important it is to beat the teams close to you in the table. It's the same again tonight because Hull have a game in hand and are just a point behind and in the middle of a great run of form. 7 wins in the last 9. And they had a magic hat-trick to celebrate too from Fratelli Talanoa. What a shame then that Talanoa is not fit to play tonight, because it's a match of huge significance to both clubs in the race for the top 8, and Hull just might miss him. Widnes 8th, Hull a place and a point behind, but the Black and Whites have got the game in hand. It's must-win fixture this for both clubs. The team news, well, Widnes are relatively settled. Only Cameron Phelps is missing from the side that defeated Salford at the Magic weekend. Matt Whitley moved into the three quarters to replace him. Kevin Brown is Widnes' go-to man, a hat-trick against Salford at the Magic. 10 tries in his last 7 games. It's been a settled pack ever since Alex Gerrard returned to action 4 games ago, so no changes here. And on the bench, Aaron Heremiah, the former Hull utility man, signed from the KC Stadium at the end of last season, the only Widnes man still standing yet to miss a match this year. Changes for Hull after their defeat of local rivals Hull KR last week. Jamie Shaw returns to the side at full-back in place of Jordan Rankin. Setimat Assar is out, so Richard Whiting steps up off the bench last week. And Australian Steve Michaels has the big job of filling in for the hat-trick hero of Newcastle. Unchanged in the forwards, keep an eye out for Mark Minicello, the international from the 2013 World Cup for Italy. He's having a great first season in England after 250 NRL appearances. And Feka Paliasina makes his 33rd appearance for Hull. Each and every one of them has been as a substitute. So the Widnes dressing room, 8th, a place and a point ahead of Hull. Hull have got the game in hand, so the importance of this fixture cannot be overstated. Like Widnes, Hull have won 4 of the last 5 in League and Cup. The hunt for the top 8 is on. But of course, both these teams are still going strong in the Cup. Hull will face Leeds and Widnes are at St Helens in the quarter-finals. They've travelled because they know how important this match is to their team. Now, prior to last weekend, they'd lost 5 times at the Magic to Hull Kingston Rovers. The only win at the Etihad Stadium in Manchester in 2013. But since losing to the Rovers at Easter, they've lost just 2 since. It's 7 wins from the last 9 for Hull. They're in great form right now. And out they come. And the stadium here tonight will be holding its breath. Kevin Brown, a new 2-year extension to his contract, leads the Widnes Vikings onto the field. And in the talk of the last 24 hours of marquee players, Kevin Brown is certainly the marquee player for the Widnes Vikings. He led them with distinction at the Magic weekend last week, and on his day he's as good as anything that's knocking around. But Hull will provide a really stiff test, and they know that winning the games against those in the table all around you is paramount if the clubs are to claim a top 8 finish and to avoid the middle 8s in August and September. It is a big game, this, Steve-O. I don't think we've had a night like this at Widnes for us.
Is that they'll have the advantage on this synthetic pitch, and a lot of teams like to come over this side of over towards Cheshire. But I must say that Hull really impressed me last week at the Magic weekend, and you talk about Gareth Ellis, Minicello and Westerman, probably one of the best back 3 that you'll find in Super League, but that fellow was outstanding. Gareth Ellis, talk about a captain's knock. He was superb. Let's hope that this fella will do exactly the same thing. Phil Bentham gives them plenty of room because there's some stars out there and there's some very talented rugby league players.
Yes, there is, and so it's just about time to go. Hull in the purple jerseys tonight will attack from left to right as we watch against the all-white of the Widnes Vikings. Phil Bentham just checking everything is A-OK, all the flags, all the youngsters are off the field and we're just about ready to go. And in a few seconds' time, he will blow the whistle to get this one underway.
Well, this is a massive match here for Widnes, and a massive 2 weeks here, really, because they play Hull tonight, Gareth Ellis against them. Next week they play Hull Kingston Rovers. 2 wins for the Vikings, Eddie, could well turn this season into a successful one. 2 defeats, and all of a sudden they're stirring at the possibility of being fighting away in that middle-eight competition for the position back in this competition next year. Massive game.
Right, he's ready. Phil Bentham blows the whistle. Mark Sneed kicks us off. Here we go. A big 80 minutes ahead. Patrick Arvan is underneath the kickoff. And I just wonder how important it is that 19-year-old Matt Whitley, who according to Dennis Betts will play anywhere in this Widnes side so long as he gives him the chance. I wonder how important he will be in the middle backs tonight with the absence of Cameron Phelps.
Yeah, well, we certainly have to play to the top of his form, that is for sure. And we've seen very early that man, the skipper, Gareth Ellis, leading the way. That's the 3rd tackle on the trot. They mean business. He's a great leader.
Get square, girls. That's it.
4 tackles gone in the opening set of 6. Kevin Brown with hands on the ball for the first time. That's Willie Isa driving it up towards halfway. And Widnes just inside their own half as they reach the last tackle. The kick then from Mellor goes down the right-hand side, bouncing its way, and then standing still almost, and almost fooling Jamie Shaw.
Great kick.
Very quick.
Great kick and a great chase as well.
And you would expect, Steve, that to be the corner that Widnes Vikings kick to, because on the other side is Ton Lynham, in a dummy half now, in for a run. And Widnes Vikings chopping him down. Lloyd White doing very well out of dummy half. But you don't want to give a kick to Tom Lynham to return with plenty of metres and few defenders in front of him. So you would expect Michaels to see far more of the ball from kicks.
On the line,
so Hull are
go.
in possession.
Off, Gil,
and it was Liam Watts who took that ball forward. This now is Mickey Payer. The big men being asked to do the hard yards down the middle, and Widnes have restricted Hull to deep inside their own half as that kick comes in from Sneed. Reece Hanbury is underneath it, and he will bring the ball back, but only as far as Ellis, who gets another tremendous tackle in.
I think he'll choose a different face the next time he returns the ball on that side. Gareth Ellis, one of the best defenders. Cut him in 2, didn't he, without playing. The ball's come free. This is a guess for the referee, and he's given the first penalty of Widnes.
Yes, he's guessed that it was a ball steal, and so Widnes get the penalty. Let's go down to Bill.
Eddie, just an unpleasant discovery for the Widnes Vikings coach Dennis Betts when he reached his position up high up there in the old commentary position, the old gantry. He discovered a dead pigeon. It was deceased, it was no more. It has shuffled off this mortal coil, and he's hoping it's not an unlucky omen.
Well, I hope it's been cleared away, and Dennis won't be too disconcerted about it. Hanbury as Widnes attack down the right-hand side.
Yeah, nice step
to him, and so too was Sneed.
And that's what we'll see a lot tonight. The fullback Hanbury joining in 3/4 line. Interesting to see how Kevin Brown is taking second receiver.
Release.
Alex Gerrard brought to ground, 10 metres away. Mellor finds Brown. Brown then with the short pass. He brings Danny Galea onto the ball, and there are 3 purple jerseys there to bring him down. Lloyd White at dummy half spins the ball back to Brown. It's his chip into the in-goal area, and good work by Jamie Shaw.
Yeah, read it well, Jamie Shaw, the fullback.
It's a penalty to Hull here for offside. They're all offside according to Phil Bentham and his touch judges.
Yeah, I think you find that number 28, Matt Whitley, was the culprit. Just went a little bit too early.
I think he was the chaser in front of the kicker. He actually had the option of letting that run and giving a greater advantage as a 20-metre restart. You can see they've had a decent kick to touch, so probably the right decision to give the penalty.
So Hull will come forward again.
Hold, go.
And Danny Houghton is the man at dummy half. First touch, I think, of the night for Leon Price. Got the ball away to his skipper, and then the second touch in quick succession. Here now is Richard White.
And I think they need Leon Price to touch the ball and run at defenders. He hasn't done it often enough this season. Okay, at times you do have to pass to outside players, and Westerman gets tackled centre field. But Leon Price is at his best when he runs at players in the defensive line, and the Hull side need to see more of it.
Good work there from Lloyd White, stealing the ball one-on-one.
Yeah, you got to make crowd that. Yeah, you got to make sure, and it was always bobbling around in Joe Westerman's hand. But that was smart by the Widnes hooker.
There he is, right behind the play of the ball, and Gil Dodson does play the ball. Here now is Willie Isa.
4, move.
The two sides early in the piece here just testing each other out. Widnes' current form, as Gerrard takes it forward, is impressive when you bear in mind the likes of Phelps, Tickle, Cahill, Flynn, O'Carroll, Dean, all missing. The depth of Dennis Betts' squad is being tested. It's another high kick, but it's dealt with very competently indeed by Steve Michaels.
Yes, yet again to that left-hand corner. There's a pattern of play emerging here in the first 5 minutes or so of this game. It's the Widnes Vikings. We see Michaels snatch the ball relatively comfortably. Marsh dealing with it, bring him to ground. It's the Hull FC attacking this left edge of Widnes, attacking where Kevin Brown is, but Widnes doing the same, attacking where Leon Price and Gareth Ellis defend. Of course, Ellis, very good defender, and Leon Price, very good defender if you run straight at him. But they're going to question the decisions those two players make around each other. So plenty of action right here underneath our camera gantry.
And this now is Mickey Payer taking the ball forward, the Tongan international from the 2008 World Cup. And he will play the ball to Danny Houghton, and Houghton gets the kick away, ricochets straight into the back of a Widnes player, and Kevin Brown swoops on the loose ball. Richard Whiting asking a question: was he offside?
It was a 50-50 move.
He was behind the man who charged it down. He was about a metre behind him, so he's okay to play on.
So here come Widnes again with Hanbury, and he had to duck under a fairly high challenge, which will be penalised here.
Got to be a penalty. Hanbury just took the step, and
Eamon apologises immediately.
Does he ever?
It's the second time that Widnes have had 3 attackers and only 2 defenders. They haven't made breaks or scored from it. There's the first penalty, but they're starting to stretch hold on that side of the field and making sure that it's not just a one-sided attack. Widnes want to really challenge Lee Radford's team all across this pitch, so the defenders have to keep moving from space to space. When you tire out the defenders and ask them to make decisions, that's when the Vikings find the gaps.
The penalty for the high shot by Kirk Yeaman, and it is his 350th career appearance tonight.
Well, that wasn't the best kick and it only went about 12 metres forward. That really should have been pumped right into the corner further down.
Dudson here now for Widnes as they maybe elect to attack from deep. Lloyd White goes down the right channel again. Good hands. Hanbury gets it wide. Here's Jack Owens. And Jack Owens gets to the line. Is he held up or did he get the ball down? I think he's got this down. The reaction on the players and the reaction of the touch judge is that he's got the ball down. They've given a try on the field. So there is something for them to go at in the video booth that is occupied tonight by Messrs Ganson and Thaler.
Well, I think the call for try has come from Tony Martin, the most experienced touch judge in the RFL, so he's going to be fairly confident that ball's got to the ground. And I think you can see there, he's in possession and the ball is grounded, so I think this try will be confirmed.
Wonderful exhibition from the winger. It was the build-up to this that he gained the momentum to be able to force his way over. When the long ball missed out that centre and the winger took it at full speed, absolute tremendous run. It's all about the timing when you get that, and there's the confirmation of the try.
Yes, for Jack Owens, who celebrated his 21st birthday yesterday. Key of the door 24 hours ago. Key to beating the Hull defence down the right flank for Widnes here tonight. Widnes hit the front, they lead by 4 points to 0, and Owens hasn't given himself the easiest of conversions to come.
All came about, swinging arm there from Kirk Yeaman. Gave him the opportunity, but watch how the winger comes onto this at speed. Bang! He's in top gear. Boy, that took some finishing. Excellent play. You talk about the dummy runners coming through, and he came at the right time. Upper body strength. Got him over there and gets the 4.
Well, John Wells featured him before the game, and it's Rhys Hanbury that I think they have to thank for that. His late run from open to short side has created opportunity for that man, Eddie.
And here's the conversion attempt, which is brilliant from Owens. 6-0 Widnes.
Jack Owens is a good player, and he could become a great player if he continues to improve. We've seen him on this ground now for a couple of seasons, and his timing of the run to finish this chance, because Jamie Shaw does all he can, gets up around the body and the ball, but Owens' awareness to spin and twist and ground that ball has given them the first 6 points, and they're buzzing from the confidence that they got from the win in Newcastle last week. The side started well, the crowd are clearly behind them, and they want to get to the other end of the field and score as soon as they possibly can. They're full of it.
Gerrard trying to spin out of some trouble. And the important thing about the last 2 wins for Widnes, they've come away from this ground. They've come at Wakefield and at Newcastle United St James's Park in the Magic Weekend. So those who say they can't play on grass, well, they have to eat their words.
Yeah, and it's a fine performance, especially from the captain, Kevin Brown, is with that hat-trick. And it's amazing what, to get a victory away from home. Okay, we know it was in Newcastle, but it's the travelling, getting it all sorted out. And now this is where they just have to settle things down. Don't panic. Get a good kick away now.
No problem.
Brown gets the kick away, and it can do anything, but it just takes a big hop and goes dead in goal.
He'll be disappointed with that, Kevin Brown. He didn't get the backspin on it. You could see Woodson had released from the boot. It was going over and over.
Hold. Go 1.
So Hull will come again here with Mark Minicello, and he's been really impressive in this, his first season in the Super League. Mickey Payer will take it forward. And this is his last season in Super League. He's back to the NRL next year with the Newcastle Knights. Houghton gets the ball away to Sneed. Sneed drags Yeaman back on the inside.
It's amazing, isn't it? We haven't seen a run from the dummy half from Danny Houghton. The experienced hooker is quite happy just to pass the ball on. Ooh, that nearly was a good pass, but he just had to reach back for it.
Yeah, Liam Watts couldn't hang on to it. He was put through the gap, though, here by Westerman.
I wonder what Hull FC are going to do, Eddie, if their big pack can't get over the top of the Widnes Vikings. Pound for pound, Hull FC have got the advantage. Lee Radford's got a big side, likes to play through the middle. But you're going up against very good defenders. Alex Gerrard, Danny Galea, Chris Clarkson, Willie Isaac, Gil Dudson. They can all wrestle and slow down big players. Dudson himself is quite a sizable man. But the others, while they're smaller, they're very confident in the tackle.
Lovely break here from Hanbury. He's got support from Young Whitley. And the teenager goes on for Widnes' second try. Applause from Dennis Betts. He said, you put this kid anywhere in the team and he'll play. But he's playing all right here. He's gone over right next to the uprights. It's his second try of the season. Substitute in the Magic Weekend. He only made his debut against Warrington at Easter. And he has come alive in 2015, Matt Whitley. And so are Widnes right now, the 10 up.
Isn't it great to see? This was the error there. Big prop forward, Liam Watts couldn't drag it in. And from that position, watch this, the switch. So clever. Run on the outside, utilise the dummy runner. You've got to give a lot of credit to Matt Whitley. Not only did he run as a dummy runner, he made sure he came back on the inside. This is talent. Look at that. You could see there that Whiting, he just got confused. Who was going to get it? Tell you what, it was going to be this kid.
You know it is in rugby league. Need your best attacking player at the fullback position. Rhys Hansby set up the first try with a brilliant pass. He's done the second one through a very clever run, where he's managed to time his run to wait the pass, get on the outside of Whiting and make that look simple. The fullback at the moment's 10 out of 10, and by clear the man of the match so far.
And Matt Whitley celebrating. There is Rhys Hanbury, who created both tries. Matt Whitley is celebrating his first try on this home ground of the Widnes Vikings. Jack Owens then kicked off the touchline just a few minutes ago. This relatively simple, and he plonks it over the top of the bar. Widnes are ahead by 12 points to nil in this, the most crucial of matches for these two teams.
And fully deserved as well. The build-up, very, very strong indeed. And you'll notice how Kevin Brown made sure that the dummy runner didn't make any touch, any contact with the whole player. No chance of obstruction. Brilliant play.
So Sneed restarts.
It's not just the speed of Rhys Hanbury, Eddie, it's the tempo of his runs, and that's what caught Richard Whiting out. A great one from Patrick Arvan. Hanbury doesn't start off at 100 miles an hour. He eases and rolls into it and then picks up the pace at the right moment. On that occasion, right at the moment where Richard Whiting thought he had Hanbury, he hit the accelerators, beat him on the outside.
Well, Widnes playing with lots of confidence. Gerrard takes it forward again. We just saw the run from Patrick Arvan, and he signed a one-year contract extension last week as well. So Widnes hanging on to their top stars.
That's a brilliant kick.
That's much better from Brown.
Yeah, it was only the second tackle, the only second play of the ball.
And what a chase as well, led by Stephen Marsh.
Well, they were fully aware of it. They knew that their captain was going to kick early in the count. It caught the Hull wingers. Oh, big error.
Yes, you wouldn't expect that from Mark Minicello, the form that he's been in so far this season.
He just took his eye off the ball. Just had a little glimpse who was coming at him. Alex Gerrard. See how he just lifted the eyebrows. Not a good start for that man, Lee Radford.
No frustration for Lee Radford, the Hull coach. They've won at Warrington and St Helens in Super League and in a cup tie at Sheffield, which could have been difficult for them just recently.
We talk about the talent of Kevin Brown, but you know they utilise him well. Dennis Betts knows exactly what he's capable of doing, but sometimes Brown will stand on the left-hand side, and they're expecting Brown going to get it, and they'll go the opposite. It's very confusing for any defence.
This is Dudson, and he will drive it in and flicks a brilliant pass back to Lloyd White. He finds Brown, a little double pump, and here is Hanbury again. Good job that Richard Whiting got to him with Gareth Ellis. They're about 7 metres away from the line. Widnes trying to turn the screw here and get their third try. Ices after that.
Boy, that was a great tackle there by Gareth Ellis.
White again from dummy half into the arms of Brown. Short ball then from Brown to Galea. Pulled down by Leon Price. Last one coming up here for Widnes. What's Brown got in the locker this time? It's a poor kick.
Well, he was put under pressure, Eddie, and that's what Hull have to do. They've got to realise that. He gave himself plenty of room, but it was Danny Houghton that got right into his face, hence the poor kick.
Sorry, Hull's goal line defence has been one of the best in Super League, Eddie, and that in that instant there, those 6 players inside their own 20, it's kept them in this contest at 12-0. They really did have to put pressure on Kevin Brown, and they couldn't allow the Vikings to extend that 12 points.
Let me give you some figures, Phil, to back up the point I made about Widnes Vikings targeting Hull FC's right edge defence. That right edge defence is Richard Whiting, Leon Price and Gareth Ellis. There on the right-hand side, they've made 31 tackles. Their counterparts on the left-hand side of their defence have made 4 in total so far this game.
Well, they're coming down the right-hand channel now with Ellis, and Ellis gets away from one, tries to shrug off Brown, gets a beautiful ball away to Lyman, and in the end he's pulled down, but it's play on, it's a try! It's a try for Tom Lyman. The referee will ask the video referees just to check on this.
I've got a try.
They've got a try on the field, as you see.
Double movement.
Well, I don't think there's a double movement. The only other question mark, surely, Stuart, is whether he was tackled.
Well, it's whether he was tackled. I think he actually broke the tackle. I would also have a question, is he was very close to the touchline down here, so you'd like to think the toucher's got a good look at that. Is he tackled? The ball carrying arm doesn't hit the ground. He's not held. That's fine. He's not held on the ground. So this should be confirmed. I think the touch judge is just asking about touch now, just to make sure on that. Oh, very close, but I think his elbow just stays above ground level at that point.
I mean, Stuart, in normal speed it's a try, but the worry is they'll go back and find a frame where his elbow's touching the ground and the player's in contact with him. Just having a look at touch here, but there is a worry that that's going to happen.
Yeah, it's,
well, his elbow is touching the ground, but momentum carries him out of the tackle, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, if you got a hold of him, Eddie, then therefore the tackle has been completed.
That would be classed as the tackle being completed if you find a frame. I'm not convinced that it actually touches that.
Would you give it, Mike?
Yes, I would.
That's the worry there. The worry is that they call that a tackle.
Ryan, don't worry, it's going to be a try.
Well, good. I hope it is.
And let's give a lot of praise to the ability of Gareth Ellis. Right down there, there it is at normal speed. I'd give it.
Well, the momentum will surely take him home and give this the green light.
Well, I've looked at it at normal speed there, and it looks like a try. I think we'll confirm this.
And they do confirm it. The tackle was not completed. And Tom Lyman gets yet another try. 13 for the Super League season now.
Dennis Betts will be furious. This should have been stopped. The switchback. Good player, the alarm got away, but you've got to make sure that you get Ellis. They went high. Matt Whitley went to try to get a ball and all, but what about the offload from the skipper? He should have been stopped. They had the numbers. Take nothing away from this guy. Lynham. Sensational stuff by this fella. Captain, what about the offload? Get away from me. Should have been stopped though.
Well, that's just brilliant. They spent the first 15 minutes of the game defending on that side of the field, and then Gareth Ellis comes up with a run like that. Does just enough to keep the ball, keep himself in play, and ship it off to Tom Lynham, who does brilliantly. He's not going to flirt with the touch lines. He runs straight and hard. He challenges Rhys Hanbury, the fullback, to stop him. Couldn't on that occasion. Great score from Hull FC.
Yes, from the neutral's point of view, it really keeps the game alive and can Sneed at the extras. He just slipped on the surface as he took that kick. So it's 12-4 to the Vikings.
Well, Tom Lynham managed to score 2 tries the last time he played against Widnes. They were 90-metre efforts. This one wasn't quite as far, but it was equally as spectacular. You know, the second row combination of Mike Minicello on one side and Gareth Ellis has set up a play. It's a beautiful offload, but boy, that needs some finishing. He's bumped off the fullback, sprung through the winger centre, Matt Whitley, and crashed over. Hull would be in awful trouble without Tom Lynham's try scoring this season. He's been brilliant for them at getting across the line. They need 1 or 2 more to learn the knack.
Well, he got 3 tries against Widnes in the win in April. Quick scamper from dummy half by Danny Houghton, who I think has got to be, hasn't he, one of the most underrated hookers in the Super League. He's already Hull's top tackler again this season.
I've certainly admired his play for a long, long time. And that was his first real run from dummy half. He really caught the Widnes defence out. But as I said, Dennis Betts will get the message out on both occasions, both on the second row of Gareth Ellis and, of course, Lynham. They went far too high. You've got to go. It's an old story. They can't run without their legs.
So Hull are in possession here with Leon Price. That's good tackling this time. Much better from Matt Whitley to bring Jamie Shaw to ground. From Houghton it goes to Leon Price. He hoists a high kick. Pouched by Jack Owens.
That's disappointing. I think at this level that's too easy to catch under no pressure. None of his chasers put enough enthusiasm in it. That should have been a penalty for hitting the guy in the head. But Jack Owens can get his team out of that dangerous 20-metre zone. Once you're over that, it's much easier to roll up to halfway.
I agree. We've seen Leon Price torment teams with his kicking game. Catch your minds back to the World Club Challenge game against Penrith Panthers when he's playing for Bradford Bulls. He rained them down out of the sky that night. Too soft and too easy for Jack Owens on that occasion. Keeps kicking them like that, Widnes will have a field day.
Whitley will take it forward again.
It'll be interesting when Dennis Betts throws in Jeremiah. He normally sharpens things up after 20 minutes or 25 minutes or so.
That's not a good kick from Joe Mellor as well. Michaels will try and return it.
Not a bad chase.
So far.
Back up.
Saying not a bad chase, Eddie, but that was far too easy.
2, move.
Lynham goes down.
Hold, go 2.
There is Jeremiah waiting his opportunity to come into this match.
Well, it's something that Dennis Betts does. He likes to get Lloyd White out there in the early part of the game. He's a tough hombre. Nice offload, but just went to ground.
No advantage.
Knock on both ways, so no advantage. The referee will put the scrum down with head and feet to the Vikings. They've only lost here once this season against St Helens in March. 20 points to 30.
Just trying to push the pass. Liam Watts, the idea was good, but Minicello couldn't get to it.
Good player, Minicello, this year.
Great worker, isn't he?
But at that time, really, I'm not sure we'll see the game tomorrow in Warrington take on Catalan. You know, they've had the ball 9 times, the whole side, and they've made mistakes on 4 of those occasions. That's a high ratio of success to error, really, when you've had possession. I think Lee Radford wants them to hold on a little bit longer.
Midway through the first half then, and Widnes ahead by 8 points. And Hull certainly have kept the game alive with that Tom Lynham try. It's Lloyd White again, taking on 2 or 3 of them and getting over the halfway line just.
Go.
Pick himself up and play it to Mellor. And then he asks the big men to come on the charge and take it forward.
Well, the Widnes side, nearly on every kick and chase, they've been able to get into the opposition half, and that's a neat kick. Boy, that'll put a lot of pressure on him.
Lynham is on his own line, but the chase arrives in the nick of time. Galea and Whitley with the tackle.
And that, you saw the difference there from Kevin Brown. That had the backspin on it, and that's why it settled right down in that left-hand corner.
Eddie, you built up this game before we came into it. You said it was a playoff for the playoffs. You're absolutely right. The loser tonight, if we have a loser, if we don't have a draw match, may look back at this fixture and say that's the one that the top 8 place slipped away from us at. The Widnes Vikings can beat Hull FC tonight. They might open up a gap that is too great for Hull FC to close in their 8 remaining games. Widnes, of course, 7 remaining games, including this one.
Houghton on the last, gets the ball back. The kick all along the ground, straight up the middle of the pitch, and Hanbury will return it once again for the Widnes Vikings.
And that's where you pay the price, Eddie. Complete difference with Widnes. Their kick and chase, they make sure that Hull don't get out of their half. So when it does come to their last kick, you can see now Widnes already in the opposition territory on the second play of the ball.
And look at the difference here. Territorially, the Vikings have won that first quarter. They've only got an 8-point lead on the scoreboard. But Hull haven't had the ball within 40 metres of Widnes' try line. That's pretty amazing in a sport with a 10-metre rule that they haven't got so close after 20 minutes.
Another great ball from Kevin Brown. Here is an opportunity. It's a charge forward by McGrath Lulawai. Another off the bench. Jeremiah is just off the bench as well. Brown once again switches the attack, finds Mellor, and here now is Jeremiah once more. Jeremiah with a kick straight into the arms of Stefan Marsh. Good defence. Good defence by Steve Michaels.
It had to be as well, but what about the build-up? That was tremendous. They took the gamble, went on that blind side on the last play of the ball.
Move, Stefan!
Brilliant attacking play. And then an excellent tackle by Steve Michaels to finish it off and keep Widnes at bay. Kevin Brown went down the left-hand side, didn't fancy it, switched it back inside to Mellor. They shifted it all the way to the other side of the field. And it's only that great intervention from the left wing for Hull FC to stop Widnes scoring again.
That's Westerman brought to ground on tackle number 3. Here comes Leon Price now. First run, great ball. I'm not sure.
No, I think it's been badly done today. He looks in absolute amazement, Leon Price.
Well, they say look at the hands, look at the way the hands are facing. Stuart?
Well, first look at it, I thought that was okay, and I think it is.
It's okay. The referee said to Palestina, not even close in my opinion.
Well, he's the boss, but
not even close to being forward.
I think he's been badly done to it.
Yeah,
that looks okay.
Anyway,
I've been waiting 20 minutes, and I suppose the Hull supporters as well. Waited 20 minutes for Leon Price to take on the line like that, Brian. You've played with him at the international level. He's almost unstoppable when he chooses to do that and change direction. But some dissent here now in the scrum. They've conceded a penalty and they must control their heads.
Price he can lift the tempo of the game. You're absolutely right, Phil. He can inject himself into a game and really lift his side. Run from dummy half and take the line on like he did on that occasion. But here we go, differential penalty.
I think that was for dissent, wasn't it, Stuart?
Well, as Leon Price was having a conversation about what's just been on the screen.
Well, he won't win any battles like that with the referees, that's for sure. Gallier is here now, but it looked like from up here and everywhere around this ground he was a bit hard done by there. McGrath Lulawai again, son of the ex-New Zealand international Hull legend James Lulawai. McGrath Lulawai, by the way. So a couple of Hull connections in this Widnes Vikings side tonight.
Keep your eye on Jeremiah.
Release!
Manu Kafoa disentangles himself. Jeremiah gives it to Brown. Brown a bullet pass to Mellor. Mellor draws the defence, gets it to Hanbury. And Hanbury goes for it himself. An important tackle that was by Mark Sneed. Stefan Marsh. Mellor again. Willie Isa. Hand in the face of Westerman, but Westerman wouldn't be put off. They've reached the 5th tackle, so this is the last for Widnes. What's Kevin Brown, Joe Mellor got in the locker here? It's now with Brown. Oh, he feeds Gallier. And Gallier spins out of one tackle, plays it back into the middle. Is it a try?
No, it isn't. Not bad play though. Keeping the ball alive. They look a little bit confused to the whole defence.
It was a chance for McGrath Lulawai.
Beautiful little pass on the inside. Just shows you the confidence that they've got.
Hull like a rock climber, just hanging on here on the cliff face, just waiting maybe for some help to arrive. They're working so hard to keep their opponents out, but one suspects that they can't continue to defend at that end of the field without conceding some more points.
And it was the thighs of Fekir Palestina on that occasion. Well done to the big front rower. He got himself in the right position, Eddie. He's taking the run in attack now. That was a huge defensive play.
And is that a sudden lisp you've got, Brian, or was it his thighs that got in the way? His thighs on the leg. Okay. You said thighs, that's why I'm just checking that you haven't got a lisp all of a sudden. His size. It's okay.
Oh, well, as the game goes on.
That's
stupid play.
High from Westerman.
That silly play. He hasn't even given a penalty. I mean, everybody could see it in this ground, and I'm sure your viewers at home. This is the swinging arm right in the mush.
Not given. Widnes still inside their own half with Patrick Arvan. Got away with it, Joe. Whitley will set off again. Doesn't make too much progress.
Well, Dennis Betts might have been furious earlier, Steve, but he'll be delighted now. His team have had the ball 16 times. They've not made a mistake yet in possession. They're shifting it wide again with Clarkson, and they're starting to look like they're next to score.
Will he give it high? Brown's gone on the blind side. No, he's going to keep it low. Oh, it's all on. It was touched.
It was. That's well swept up at the back. Very well swept up by Jamie Shaw.
And good work, good tackle by Joe Mellor.
Here comes Michaels again.
Second. Movement at it. Hold.
Yeah, he definitely went for it, Minicello. The difference between the sides, as you look at them, is that the Widnes players, they're talking amongst each other. I'm afraid the visitors at Hull look a little bit lost. They've lost a bit of a shape.
4. Move now.
But they would love to get deep into the Widnes territory. They found that difficult.
Here's Paliacina again.
5. Move. We're back. Goal.
Last tackle coming up for Hull. Sneed will put the kick in, and it's a high one too. The chase is on here. Owens does well.
Like the Price kick before, Eddie, that's got to be better. They're finding it difficult getting out of their own half, so it makes the kick much more important at the end. Sneed and Price are going to have to find a little bit more question in their kick. You give Jack Owens a tougher job, Reece Hanbury or Patrick Arvan. But just lobbing the ball up there and allowing a winger to catch it before any real defensive challenge can come is not going to be good enough tonight. Not against this Widnes side.
Well, that should have been a penalty. It was smart work by the hooker.
The referee said Whiting was standing square, so allowed him to make the tackle. Here's Manakafoa.
5. Move. Come back.
Well, if that's square.
Well, Whiting was, Ellis wasn't, I think.
It should have been a penalty.
Oh, it's all right, because they've changed the law over the last year or so, where even if a player is not square on the far side of the ruck and travels across it, then he puts himself back on now, which is what Whiting did.
And here he is again, Whiting, this time in offensive mode.
Goal 2.
With Houghton. Gets it away to Mickey Payer. Mellor tried to stop him, but couldn't. Jamie Shaw finds Michaels down that left wing.
3. Move.
Centre break coming, don't you? I think both sides worked hard for half an hour here. And Hull, I think you've got to credit them. They've had to do more of the defending in their own half of the field. They can just find some energy here now. This is the farthest upfield they've been now in 29 minutes, the closest they've been to their opponent's try line. What have they got left in attack?
Well, Mark Sneed shows it to Paliacina, gives it to Leon Price. Price then gives it to Jamie Shaw, who did really well to hang on to that. That's a stretch for it, running from deep. We reach the 5th tackle, so here's the last for Hull. And it's bowled over on to Sneed. He slides the kick in. Paliacina's after this. And Hanbury comes and gets the ball away, but it is a penalty.
Shoulder charge.
Right, took a defender, took a attacking runner. Paliacina, Manakafoa stepped in the way of Paliacina. Can't step off his line. Referee, correct decision.
You know, it amazes me how they just completely lose the plot. The ball's kicked through, and it's as though it's like a magnet. Oh, I think I'll use my shoulder. They could suffer.
They could, because it's with Houghton, and now it's with Sneed. He finds Shaw. And Shaw is tackled by Chris Clarkson, the man on a season-long loan from the Rhinos. Now Westerman pops it up to Mickey Payer again. He's taking on Mellor.
Back to 1.
And that's back to 0 in the tackle count, the referee signals. So here we go again, and it's a chance here for Thompson. He's pulled down by Kevin Brown. You want to quick play the ball? Leon Price. And Leon Price gets over the line.
That's hit from dummy half, Eddie.
Leon Price gets the try. He was in the mood in Blackpool. He looks in the mood here tonight. Ever present in this, his first year with the Black and Whites. The 414th Super League appearance of a 17-year career. 8 seasons in the top flight. 18 seasons in the top flight.
Well, Dennis Betts won't be in the mood. Remember, it was a silly shoulder charge that has given another set to this whole outfit. who've barely been in the game and yet could find themselves, if they can convert, only 2 points adrift. That's good work by Price. He could see they were slow. Brown got in, Galea moved out, but there's nothing to stop him. That's good play. Quick thinking. They weren't alert enough. He was.
Takes more than one man to make a team, but Hull really do need, I think, Leon Price in the remainder of this season to start to do things like that more often than he has in the first half of this year. Lee Radford knows they need some points, they need some tries. When they get close to opponent's line, they've just got to find a way over it. It's as simple as that.
Well, it's a lifeline that's been thrown by Leon Price here. He made his debut way back in 1998 for Bradford against Salford. And he's played 9 grand finals. He knows what it takes to get to Old Trafford. That's his 6th try of the campaign. Now Mark Sneed. This unique kicking style of Mark Sneed is pretty effective. But not on this occasion. That's 2 he's missed.
Eddie, this is smart play from dummy half. It's not just a run. He stands up Leon Price long enough for the Widnes Vikings defenders to think he's going to actually pass the ball. And then at the right moment, he lowers his body position right down, angles in towards the try line to make himself an even more difficult target. Here we go, in a dummy half, stand up, so they think the pass is on, and then boom, down towards the ground. Whitley and Galea unable to stop him, even though Brown's come in to aid them. Smart play from that man.
Well, had Sneed kicked the goals, they'd be level. As it is, it's 12-8 to the Vikings. And we've got, what, 8 minutes to the break?
Yeah, Dennis Betts, he'll be furious. It's just a lack of concentration. Monaco forward using the shoulder charge when the kick was already going to be a poor one.
Move now, Willie!
You're right, Brian, he's a big lad. Paliacina. No doubt about that. This is Payer now, another big man.
Who was it at Magic Weekend for Hull Kingston Rovers? Stopped him in his tracks. One of the smaller players. I'll try and think it'll come to me, but I remember seeing him stop Paliacina. I thought it was a brilliant defensive effort.
Goal 3.
Might have been John Budebza.
Minicello goes down, tackle number 4, still just inside their own half hole. Now they're over into Widnes territory with a good charging run from Kirk Yeeman.
Well, Widnes had gone to sleep, and all of a sudden, Hull, they were woken up.
High kick this.
Good one.
Sneed.
What a take.
Well claimed by Hanbury.
What a take under pressure.
He's unsung, isn't he, Rhys Hanbury? He really is.
He's a talent. I've always enjoyed watching him.
As well as a great full-back in defence, he's also Widnes' record Super League try scorer, 50 in all.
And not only that, he's a good creative player as well. Ooh, that had a big rake cross on it there. Brown offloading.
Yes, Clarkson had to take the tackle, had no other alternative.
Well, with just under 7 minutes remaining of this first half, Hull realise now if they can just keep Widnes back in their own half and make their defence pretty solid, and that's pretty good. Good work by Yeeman.
Wait, lads.
Aaron Jeremiah finds Mellor. He stutters around the first would-be tackler, gets the kick in, but straight to Shaw, who positioned himself down that left-hand side for Hull.
Beautiful play by Danny Houghton. He's the man that put the pressure on the kicker.
Thompson again.
Coaches talk about asking the players to put an effort on an effort. They've all worked very hard here now for over 30 minutes physically. Crowd check for forward pass, they're going to get it. But at this point here now, your natural reaction is to slow down and try and get your breath back. The best players don't. They push even harder here because they know with another score here, it makes a big difference to the half-time change. And just takes that, there's a forward pass there. It's a poor play, isn't it? There are lapse in concentration. An example of some fatigue setting in. But Widnes team need to regather on both sides now. Push on here in the final 5 minutes before half-time to get that another try.
The other thing we shouldn't forget is it's probably the first night of summer that we've had so far this year. It's a warm and slightly humid night. They've not been used to this.
Pleasant.
It's lovely. Long may it continue, but the players have come from an icy blast of Newcastle wind last week, and here they are now in almost summer conditions. Brilliant.
Well, it won't be pleasant when they go into the break, and I'm talking about the home side. Betts will be furious. There's every right to be.
Move!
Just lack of concentration, giving away silly penalties.
Goal 2.
They had this game all locked up. They were in control of it after 20 minutes.
Brown looking to try and give them another handle on it as well as he gets the ball away to Galea, but Price sees to it that he's not going too far forward. Aaron Jeremiah comes into centre field to Willie Isa. Manakofoa helps it on that one backwards. Fortunately for Luluai, and Mella picks up the pieces. He's swatted a couple away. He's still going, and he's found Manakofoa again. Good work from Joe Mella that. Suddenly Widnes now on the front foot there, 12 metres away from the line. Mella again to Kevin Brown, and Brown just slides the ball over the top. Oh, horrible bounce. And Whiting to the rescue.
Yeah, he got the backspin on it, and the centre Whiting, luckily he was around. Neat little kick. Look how it's spinning backwards.
The referee is asking for a look at the restart.
Yeah, it's off Richard Whiting, isn't it?
Well, is it classified as a knock-on to start with?
Is that a knock-on there?
I think it goes backwards off Whiting and still backwards, so it should be a goal line dropout, I think, that one.
There was another Widnes hand that knocked it forward originally, Stuart.
I thought it was a knock-on.
Matt Whitley, you think, Eddie?
I think he might have got a hand to this.
Well, it appeared quite
watch.
home. Watch it.
Watch.
Yeah.
I think that goes backwards off Whiting. I've seen a touch before that.
I think they're just trying to work out whether it's Matt Whitley that has knocked it on.
It isn't. They've decided it's a goal line dropout. Whiting did come to the rescue.
Well, they're in no rush. I'll put time on.
Sneed with a kick. This could be very difficult. That's a knock-on.
That's a knock-on.
What on earth are they doing?
It's a great kick. It was a great kick. I don't think Danny Galea moved quick enough when that kick was made. People expect the ball to come to them, and because it was 5-10 metres away, he didn't move with enough urgency. Patrick Gavan was under too much pressure. He couldn't keep it in, but that's a try save there from Mark Sneed. That's a try saver.
Well, again, lack of concentration, and you could see the expression on the coach Dennis Betts' face. He'll be sat down in the dressing room and say, "Welcome, boys. Here's a few home truths."
This is a great opportunity for Hull, though, now with Sneed. He gets it away to Minicello. How good would it be for Hull to turn round level or even with a 2-point advantage? Sneed.
Second, move now!
Well, for the first 20 minutes, Eddie, the whole side never got anywhere near into the opposition half. Now it's all turned around. Widnes are hanging back. They were pretty confident, so that's good tackling, but he's offloaded as Whiting.
He has to line them. He shrugs away from Jeremiah, gets away from Jeremiah with the pace, straightens it up now, goes at Isa. A bit of help coming in from Chris Clarkson to bring him down. It's Minicello. They're looking busy, Hull. They're looking very interested in the possibilities here, because there is something building for them. Houghton to Sneed, and into centre field to Westerman. And Price, good hands. Whiting.
Oh, dearie me. A flush in the arm out. Swinging pub sign. It's just reaction. He steps inside. At least it was a flat of the hand. He'll should get a bit of a talking to by the official.
I think that's probably what saved him, but you know, you look at that and it still hit him with the forearm. You know, he's probably pretty lucky not to be dealt with a bit more severely. Referee does have the option of the sin bin.
Well, I'm surprised that he hasn't had a little word in his ear.
One step here, Danny.
Well, they haven't gone for the 2 points that were on offer because they still have over a minute left in this first half, and they're hunting more Hull as Sneed finds Shaw. Owens gets to him and hangs on. Quick play the ball though. Mark Sneed, Mickey Payer. And Mickey Payer, those legs are pumping towards the Widnes line. That's a great run from the big fellow.
They might as well take him over the line there, take the side back 10.
Houghton off the ground to Westerman. Westerman to Price. Price back he comes again to Sneed. Measured kick. Lynham. Great try. Second try for Lynham. And Hull are level. Well, it was 20 minutes. It was all Widnes. The last 20 of this first half, it's been all Hull. And you have to credit them for the fight back. OK, maybe Widnes might be perceived in some places to have committed Harry-Carry here, but Hull have battled their way back into a match that looked as though it was slipping away from them.
Yeah, silly play there by Kevin Brown. He knew it as soon as he lifted the arm, and it gave them the golden opportunity. And they have taken it. Beautiful kick into the corner. Lynham, the dive, just before the half-time hooter. This is good build-up. This is solid stuff. Sneed with the kick over into the corner. Lynham said, I'm not going to turn this down.
Another of Super League's flying wingers.
Well, this is the 14th time this season that Leon Price and Mark Sneed have played together as halfbacks. That combination was crucial there in setting up the space for the kick that Mark Sneed put in. You know, it was his kick from the goal line dropout. We could have been talking about a Widnes try at the other end, but he fired it like a bullet, didn't he? Under his own pulse. They found the sideline with the Patrick Arvan mistake, and then he showed an attacking kick to score a try here, and now he's got a conversion. He's got the full bag here. Has he got it a full house?
Yes, he has got a chance of a full house, you're right, but he has missed with his first two conversion attempts. The first one similar to this, he pushed to the left-hand side of the uprights as we watch. The second one closer, he pulled to the right. So will he go up the middle this time, Mark Sneed? 3 tries to 2 in Hull's favour. So far, Sneed hasn't kicked a goal. Is this his moment? The drummer's doing his best to put him off, but he's found the range this time, and Hull will turn round with a 2-point advantage. What a turnaround in this first half. It's turned upside down. 10 minutes, Widnes were motoring. 2 tries, 1 from Owens, 1 from Whitley, both converted, 12-0. But then Hull suddenly found their feet. Lynham, Price and Lynham again, right on the stroke of half-time. Sneed's kicked just the 1 goal. Widnes will be grateful for that. Hull have turned round with a lead, the most unlikely lead after the opening to this match.
Ladbrokes,